Today I'm going to be showing you how to make homemade Hot Pockets. Hi, I'm Karen Peterson and I run the website 365daysofcrockpot.com, where I share Instant Pot and slow cooker recipes with you for every single day of the year. Once a week here on YouTube, I share something Instant Pot with you. And today I'm going to be showing you how I use my Instant Pot to raise bread dough in a quicker fashion so that you can make homemade Hot Pockets. Now, if you remember Hot Pockets from when you were young, they were like a bread, kind of like a calzone, right? They had like a bread outside, and then on the inside was some filling, and you could keep them in the freezer and then pop them into the microwave or warm them up in the oven for a quick, easy lunch or snack. Now, those, a little sketchy maybe, you don't really know exactly what's in them. Today we're going to make our homemade kind of Hot Pockets, basically like a calzone. We're going to put some pizza filling in there. It's going to be delicious and it's going to be pretty easy. I think you're really going to like this recipe. Let's get started with the dough. The first thing that you want to do is add in 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour into your mixer. Now for this recipe, you really don't need a mixer. There's not a lot of kneading that goes on, and so you can just use a bowl and a spoon if you don't have a mixer. 1/4 cup of white sugar, 4.5 teaspoons of instant yeast, and a teaspoon of salt. Now, a lot of people probably want to know what kind of yeast I use. This is the kind that I use. It's called instant yeast, safe instant, I guess is what it's called. And I bought this on Amazon, and I just looked. You can get this on Amazon. It's $10 for a 1-pound package. Now that's a lot of yeast. Usually you only use 1 or 2 teaspoons of yeast per recipe, so this would last you a long time. Now I keep part of the package in my refrigerator in this airtight container. Whenever I need it, I just pull it out. And then the other half of the container, I put in another one like this in my freezer because it lasts for a very long time in your freezer. If you don't use yeast like every single day, go ahead and split it up into a freezer pack and a fridge pack so that you can keep that yeast good for a long time. All right, the next part that you want to do is warm up, melt butter, 1/2 cup of butter, and then you're going to have milk and water, 1/2 cup of water and 3/4 cup of milk, and you want to get it to between 120 to 130 degrees Fahrenheit. And I just use an instant read digital thermometer for that step. This is just very handy. I bought this on Amazon. I'll link to it. And then it just instantly tells you what temperature that the liquid is at. And so we're just about to 120. And so that will be sufficient for this recipe. I'm going to pour that in with the dry ingredients. And then I'm just going to give it a quick stir. And then I'm going to stir in this 2 eggs that have been just slightly whisked together with a fork. And now we're going to slowly add in the rest of the flour. Total, you're going to probably use between 5 and 6 cups of flour for this recipe, so we already have 1.5 cups in there. So I'm just going to slowly add in 1 cup at a time until the dough starts coming away from the sides and it forms a nice elastic dough. So I'm just going to turn this on and add 1 cup at a time. So I added probably between 4.5, 5.5 cups of flour when it started coming away from the sides of the bowl. So you can tell it's done. It's not too sticky, but it's not too dry either. Now at this point, if you have an Instant Pot that has a yogurt button on it, we're going to use that. So come over to your Instant Pot, spray it with just a bit of nonstick cooking spray so it doesn't stick. And then add in the dough, and then push the yogurt button. And mine, you can just keep pushing the button to cycle through, so it says less, normal, more. Some Instant Pots will have an adjust button over here that you'll just keep pushing the adjust button. But for this purpose, we're going to put it on the less setting so that it proofs it. Now, don't put the Instant Pot lid on top. You want to put like a plate or a glass lid, something that won't get stuck on there if the dough raises too high. So we're going to just put this on here, And the timer right here is going to start counting up, and we're going to probably do it for about 25 to 30 minutes where the dough doubles in size. While the dough is raising, we're going to make some filling for our pizza pockets here. I cut up, just chopped up like a half a cup of pepperoni. Now this is one of those things where you can add in the things that you like and keep out the things that you don't like. We're going to use a base of spaghetti sauce. So this is just 24 ounces, a jar of just a regular spaghetti sauce. So that'll be your base, and then whatever add-ins you want to add in, that's totally up to you. Whatever you have on hand and whatever your family likes. So I had some of that pepperoni, so I chopped it up, and then I had a little baggie of Italian sausage that was already browned in the freezer, so I'm going to throw that in, and that's probably about half a pound. And then I have some bacon bits, so this is going to be like meat lovers pizza. So I'm going to add in about half cup of bacon bits, and then we'll do some cheeses. So I have mozzarella and Parmesan. I'll throw in the rest of this container. It's probably about a third a cup left. A little bit of cheese, probably about half cup, 3/4 cup of mozzarella. Kind of give it that pizza feel and taste. And we'll give that a good stir. Meanwhile, you'll want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit so we can bake these in just a minute. So stir that up good. And that will be our delicious filling. If you like more cheese, you can always add more cheese. It's up to you. And then I had this ricotta from lasagna that I made earlier, so I'm going to actually throw in a little bit of that. That's totally up to you, though. This will be kind of like lasagna almost. Real good. So I'm just going to add in, I don't know, that's probably about a half a cup or a third a cup of ricotta. You can see that it has counted up to 30 minutes. We're going to just look and see what it looks like. The dough has gotten a lot bigger, so what we're going to do is just punch it down. We need about 3.75 ounces per hot pocket here. So I'm going to turn this on this little scale that I have. And I just like to measure it out just because I really like to have everything uniform. So each of them will be about the same size. So take a ball of the dough and roll it out into like a rectangle, oblong type of shape. And you want to be about 6 inches by 8 inches. So it's going to be a pretty thin dough to get it to that size. All right. And then you're going to take, I'm going to take about a half cup measuring cup here and kind of just put some of the filling down the middle like that. And then I'm going to bring up the sides. This dough is really nice and stretchy, and it will break, but it's pretty good. So I'm going to just pinch the middles together like that, and then kind of tuck and fold the ends up like that. And then we can just put the seam side down on a baking sheet that has been sprayed with cooking spray, or if you have this USA pan like I have, you don't need any cooking oil or parchment paper because it just doesn't stick. It's amazing. And then we'll repeat that process with the rest of the filling that we have here. Once you have a pan ready, you can put them in the oven for 20 minutes at 350 degrees. Once they have baked for 20 to 30 minutes, they're going to look nice and golden brown, just like these ones. And I let mine sit just for a couple minutes before eating, and then you can just eat them like a sandwich. Open one up if you prefer. Look how good those look. Now there's 12 that makes 12, so if you want to cover the ones that you don't use, roll them up in foil and throw them in the freezer. That will be a great snack or food for another day. Hope you like this video. We will see you next week. Bye-bye. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make homemade Hot Pockets.
No, never do that.
Okay, you ready? Alexa, turn off. But we're going to use...
Hot Pocket.